what's up and welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be giving a review for the superhero film known as Bloodshot. Now this is based on the Valiant Comics character of the same name. Now I didn't get to see this film when it was originally released on March 13th. I must admit I actually went to the theater, I think that particular weekend when it had opened, and that's when the coronavirus situation had happened and the theaters had actually closed down. I actually went to a theater that I usually go to, to see Bloodshot, and I couldn't actually get in because they had just closed the theater. That day, I think that day was the first day when they started closing the theaters down, so I couldn't even get the chance to see it, But I know it eventually came to video and you were actually able to stream and so on. But now that the theaters are reopened, they actually have this plan at certain theaters like in my area. So I went to the theater and I actually saw it on the big screen. They actually still had a plan at the theaters. Now this stars Vin Diesel in the role of Ray Garrison, and he is a Marine who's killed in action, but is brought back to life with superpowers. He is given this regenerative ability where his body can actually just regenerate, because he has these nanobites inside his body. They actually can regenerate it's his cells in tissue, so you actually can shoot him and he'll just basically heal, so you kind of seen stuff like this in other characters and other films where they kind of can regenerate themselves, so it's kind of similar to that, But it turns out, like I say, if I get into it as usual, it kind of spoil the film, so I can't really touch on it too much, But this film is actually directed by David S.F. Wilson, and like I say, I hit on this plot point of the film. Vin Diesel, once he is brought back, he seeks revenge against the person who actually killed him, and in the same process, he also believes that that person had killed his wife too as well, so that's why he's seeking revenge too as well, and these people are trying to control him, but at the same time he actually just goes out to seek revenge, so at one point they can't even control him. But like I say, if I go into it too much more, then you'll kind of see what's going on with him and it kind of ruins it, So I guess if anything I can touch on the characters who are in the film. You have Guy Pearce who plays Dr. M.L. Harding, and he's actually the guy who kind of is behind resurrecting Ray Garrison, who becomes Bloodshot. He's actually the one who's behind the idea of bringing him back and resurrecting him and giving him this ability to actually regenerate himself, Then you also have Sam Hogan as Jimmy Dalton, Eiza Gonzalez as KT, Toby Cabell as Marnax, and these are other characters with supposed powers and abilities who were actually near death, or they actually died. They was brought back, and they kind of working with Guy Pearce's character known as Dr. M.L. Harding. So yeah, like I say, I'm gonna just leave it at that. You can just say that Vin Diesel's character of Ray Garrison, Bloodshot, he's actually just seeking revenge, But I'm just gonna leave it at that because if I go into it too much, it kind of ruins. But I thought this film, the first half of it was very entertaining. It had some good action scenes. I like the look of the film too as well, so I thought it was pretty good. But once it gets to the second half of the film, it's this situation where it's kind of constantly repeating and repeating. Then it gets kind of confusing. Then you don't know what to believe, Like I said, I can't even really touch it because it kind of spoiled, But I thought it was a pretty solid film, and I wasn't familiar with the Bloodshot character at all. Now I probably have seen him before, but I wasn't really too familiar with him until this film showed up. And this is actually supposed to be starting a universe of superhero films in the Valiant universe. They supposed to have a shared cinematic universe with Bloodshot being the first film that they have released, So I don't know how that's going to turn out, But I thought it was a pretty solid film. I didn't really think it was bad. I must admit I really did enjoy it, It had a nice pace to it. So I'm just going to go ahead and just get it a B-. But I kind of want to give it a C, but I'm going to give it a B- because I still enjoyed it, So that's my review for Bloodshot. Please leave a comment and subscribe too as well.